It's the Word on the Street podcast, bringing you the latest UFC rumors and predictions. And in this episode, we're going to follow up on all the shit that got talked at UFC 152, specifically about Jon Jones and the ultimate fight that must happen between him and Chael Sonnen. I've got quotes from Yellow Broken Bones Jones, Dana White, the American gangster himself, all that crap so that you don't have to look up 20 different YouTube videos. All right, I smoked weed, and I already did that shit for you. And we're gonna cover that, and we're also gonna give our main man Vinny Magalhaes props for shoving it up Renato Laranja's ass this weekend with his underdog win over the Russian commie scum Igor Pokerjack. I made good money on Vinny, and I hope you listened to me when I told you to bet him. I told you the best money on the card was Vinny, but we're wasting time here. So let's start off with the Sonnen news in a fan favorite segment here on the podcast. Mr. Waffles, take it away. The Danger Waffles Report, the Danger Waffles Report, the Danger Waffles Report, the Danger... The word on the street was that Johnny Bones Jones was planning to call out Chael Sonnen on UFC 152 Fight Night. But in a sport where anything can happen, especially shit, it looks like things didn't go as smoothly for the company's proud champion as was expected, since old Vito ended up snapping his arm in one of the biggest holy shit moments in recent UFC history. I'll definitely give Jones the credit for digging down and not breaking on the inside. I wasn't sure that he had that in him, but it was probably more of a pride thing than courage, but still, it's still tough as shit. He ended up grinding on Vito into a submission win, and he definitely earned back a little bit of some credibility as a fighter for sticking out a broken elbow. But we all know there's still an elephant in the octagon by the name of Chael Patrick Sonnen. It's too big of an issue to ignore, so the UFC ran an interview during their prelim fights watched by millions of people on FX, where Jon Jones was interviewed by Joe Rogan. And I suspect his canned answers might have been a part of the rumored scripted shit-talking I heard was going to go down on Fight Night. Check it out. And someone tell this clown that Bin Laden crawled out of the ocean and wants his damn beard back, all right?
Opponents too.
I have no respect for Chael Sonnen as an individual. You know, the things that he says about Brazilians and things like that. Maybe I'm a little emotional, who knows? But I don't take things like that lightly. You know, I grew up in a place where I was one of the only African Americans in my middle school. You know, I was treated severely, bad growing up with racism. So to hear somebody who has a voice belittle a nation, I just have zero respect for people like that.
But wouldn't you just want to get him in there and light him up?
No.
No?
No. Because I have no doubt in my mind that I could light him up.
Now, I'm not sure how many of you out there are reading between the lines, but for anyone who has ever studied politics or psychology, this is basic 101 textbook shit right here. Jones, he's basically trying to establish dominance and paint his opponent as being beneath him. He's trying to give himself the psychological edge. But in actuality, what he's really doing is checking his poker hand and letting Sonnen know that it's his move next. He's also trying to play his fantasy role out as a, quote, businessman here. He's not going to agree to a fight until the UFC makes him an offer and actually puts the big money on the table. He knows a Sonnen fight means extra millions. Everyone knows it now.
And I could go on forever and ever, but the top 5 pay-per-view draws in this company are George St. Pierre, Anderson Silva, Chael Sonnen makes the list now, Jon Jones, and Rashad Evans.
Bones may be young, but he's smart enough to know what he's doing by telling millions of people on national TV that he can light Chael up. You're reaching through the cage and feeding the bear, Johnny. And that's not a good idea when you've only got one arm left, bro. Of course, we wish there would have been more shit talk and calling out by Jones, but considering what happened during the fight with Vitor, if Jon Jones had called Chael Sonnen out while wincing in pain with his arm in a sling, it would have looked more ridiculous than that one Joey Karate episode where he got roughed up by the 18 Kung Fu motherfuckers. So instead, Jones, he hopped around doing that pain about to piss my pants dance, and he weakly called out an old man with a bad knee.
And next up for you, who would you like to fight next if you had the call?
I feel as if I have a little unfinished business to do with Dan Henderson, so I would like to take on another great.
This arm break thing definitely changes things, but I'd have to say that all in all, this is good news for Chael Sonnen. Why? Because number one, it means that Jones probably won't be able to fight again for the rest of the year, and that just gives Sonnen more time to hype the fight, if you will. I prefer to think of it as lobbying for the fight at the moment, not hyping. Dana White, he's already said it a few times. If enough people ask for their champion to fight Jon Jones, he's going to make the damn fight. So there's only so much talking Sonnen can do. It's going to come down to the fans demanding that this fight happen. Word on the street.
I can tell you right now, I think they both want that fight. I just think there's other fights that make more sense.
Would it be next though? I mean, even if Chael Sonnen doesn't have a win at 205, could you still make that fight just because all the fans want to see it?
People do want to see it. I don't know, man. Who knows?
Yeah.
People do want to see it. If enough people wanted to see it, I guess I'd have to make it.
What do you think Chael's going to say if he beats Forrest at 205?
Yeah, he's going to call out Jones. Yeah, there's no doubt. You know, Chael's very good at. He's very good at. You know, when everybody talks about him talking his way into fights, but you know that guy's showing up to fight and win. You know, so that's why I don't really have reservations about when I call, you know, and talk to Jon. I thought he was going to take that fight. It's like Chael comes to fight. He'll fight anybody. I know that about him, and it's one of the things that I respect about him.
If this Bones injury takes him out for the rest of the year, it's also good news because it means Chael will get a tune-up fight against Forrest Griffin at UFC 155 after all, and it'll be his first UFC fight adjusting to 205 pounds. But the most important gain from this whole armbar incident is the fight intel that we all gained about Jon Jones. Now we know the kid's actually a tough little bastard and can take the pain. And before, nobody was sure if Jon Jones could dig down and pull off that eye of the tiger shit when it got tough in the cage. Chael Sonnen, he's going to have to truly break the kid to win. But now he's got an even better idea of where that threshold is. He's not going to be surprised when he's smothering Bones and goes for the submission, breaks his fucking arm, and Jones is still fighting. Chael ain't going to blink now. He's just going to say, okay, one down, and then he's going to break the other fucking arm next. And I'd say we now know that it's going to take a referee stoppage or a unanimous decision to put Jones away. And the People's Champion, he's the best man for that fucking job. Let's make it happen, folks. I'll keep you updated with a plan. The Danger Waffles Report, the Danger Waffles Report, the Danger Waffles Report, the Danger... And I've just got to give credit to my man Vinny Magalhaes for pulling off a win against Igor Pokerjack this weekend at UFC 152. The dude, my man Vinny, was a total underdog, all right? He was something like 0-200 in the UFC. All right, he had no chance in the Vegas books. But I told you right here, the best money in the word on the street was to bet his ass. That's where the money was. I hope you guys listen to me. I listen to me. I tell you right now, I bet 150 on Vinny straight up to win, well, by submission against Igor, and he fucking pulled it off. And now I'm going to use that money, since he was the underdog, it was a ton of money actually, I'm going to use that money to buy an ounce of weed and a ticket to UFC 155 to watch my man just beat the shit out of Forrest Whitaker or whatever it is. Chael Sonnen's going to fight him. But yeah, Vinny, it was a tough fight for him, but it was just a matter of him just getting over those jitters, getting warmed up enough to lock something in. And when he did, man, he put fucking Jon Jones' submission to shame. He definitely put fucking Vito's submission to shame. I mean, you didn't see Jon Jones tapping. Vinny could have tapped Jon Jones. I'm calling it right now. And then you see fucking Igor after the fight just tweeting, complaining, saying, I didn't sign up for this shit. I thought it was going to be, what was he expecting, a fucking boxing match? And he even said, this is MMA, what the fuck? And it's like, Jesus, Igor, he doesn't even know what MMA stands for. God damn it. Vinny MMA. Follow him on Twitter, and he'll fucking tell you what it stands for. This guy's already on his way to becoming the next Anderson Silva in Brazil. He's hot over there. That's the word on the streets of Rio, you know what I'm saying? Follow that guy. Just watch all of his fights and support him because he's going to take off, all right? You're going to see him and Eric Silva become the fucking pride of Brazil. Watch that shit. It's the word on the street. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Follow the Ant Jimmy Show on Twitter. And just go to the website, subscribe on YouTube. The website is wattspodcast.com. Word on the street podcast.com. wattspodcast.com. I'm not trying to sell you anything or make any money here. I just want you to know when the next episode comes out.